I have very, like... Wait, don't tell Varys that he has red hair. Anyway. I don't know, because of the lighting and the light settings, probably. It's a little more orange than it should be. But it's definitely, like, light brown or, like, dirty blonde at best. Also love the Ed Sheeran meme from Random Trolls. I'm banning all of you except Vincent. I'll actually get the show running if you do. It's not red. What the fuck? Look at that. Look over here. Look at how... Hold on. Hold the fuck on. Look at this. Look at this color. Tell me that's red. You're colorblind. You don't know. You don't understand. You don't get hair colors. It's very brown. How did you... Are you an editor? Seems a bit red to me. You're wrong. You're wrong. Don't attack me. How did you ban Dallas? How did you ban a mod? How did you do it? Are you a... Are you an editor? He lacks the sword? How did you unsword? Did VIP overrule being a mod? You took away the mod and gave me the VIP. I definitely just typed the command to give you VIP. I think that takes away your sword. You can have the diamond or the sword. That's really funny. No, but Moto's a VIP too, right? What the? How did this happen? I thought you could. Okay, whatever. Is there a VIP list? VIPs, yes. Oh yeah, Moto's not on the list. There you go. You're right. I've seen one stream where someone was a mod in a VIP and it confused me. All right. Weird. I didn't know, I guess. Dallas, I mean, you said mod me, so I'm gonna assume that you want it back. I just need sword. Yeah, fair. Just look at that. Once again, I'm distracted from my work. I'm sorry, kind of. I don't actually think it's my fault. I think it's... Anyway. All right. Let's do the show, shall we? Let's talk about what happened last session. As you may recall, my lovely audience members, last time, there was the party had discovered, quite randomly, after walking through a teleporter, that a large fleet had taken over the bay outside of Castell, which is Eden's main, like, port city, 200 miles away. Not exactly super close, but point being, bay was taken over, a lot of ships. The party was like, oh, well then, that's a problem. Let's take care of it. A smaller set was invading the fort. Party drove them away. Last session, the result of that is that they got back to, they were hanging out in the fort. The boats didn't yet know that their landing party, their shore party, had failed this endeavor. Drove them away, yes. So they were like sitting out here waiting to hear back. And the party took advantage of this to row out to the boats. They decided that they were going, instead of walking up to Castell, they were going to go take one of the pirate boats and drive it up here and back. I believe we had established that it's pretty hard to drive a pirate boat with 3 people, but the party did not seem terribly worried about this. They just went and took a boat anyway. Steel boat for a joyride? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So they got on a boat. They successfully convinced the first mate of this ship that they were prisoners. The two of them, the two Solus and Sonus, were prisoners of the third character, Werham Gretham. Wait, Gretham? Werham. Anyway. who was like already part of the pirate crew, part of the shore party, but he had his own objectives. He is looking for an artifact, and the party is agreeing to work with him. Like, he is now working for them. In exchange, he will be awarded this artifact that he's looking for if they find it. I believe that's the agreement, roughly. Those no good nicks, or those no good nicks, their cart insurance should go up for that. I'm the emperor. That, you know, probably has some kind of effect on your cart insurance rates. So yeah. Then Werham brought these two prisoners to go talk to the captain of the ship. Said, hey, we took over the fort. We're all good. We can just go up and talk to the fleet now. And the captain was like, that sounds great. We're gonna send the other two boats in further to get a foothold in at these marks that the party discovered through previous means quite a while ago now. Quite a while ago, months and months ago in game. They found a map. They stole a map from some cartographers that had some markings here for like a convenient shipping lane. That turned out to be like invasion plans of a sort. So these two ships started to sail down here. Of course, the fort was still staffed with Eden soldiers, and immediately just peppered these boats with rocks and like knocked them out of commission. And yeah, so that happened. These boats were lost. The other two boats, the two smaller boats, and then the captain grabbed Werham and was like, "What the hell is going on? What did you do? What is this bad information you gave me?" And then Werham immediately is like, "I don't answer the question, I take a swing." And so combat started. Combat started between the captain of the boat, who was a fairly high level NPC, a couple levels higher than the party, 2 levels higher than the party, 1 level higher than the party, around there, and kind of a like, I don't actually remember his exact class. I think warrior, I think fighter. So they went back and forth a little bit. There was a very good at hitting things with swords. That's true. Sonus knocked off. Each boat has a seer, kind of a witch that helps navigate the seas, in general, and like they have a lot of water-based powers, a lot of naval abilities. They're basically around for like ocean-based survival checks and useful spells and communication. So Sonus knocked them off the boat. They weren't a problem. Just left the captain here, standing at the wheel of the ship, and party fighting them. It was like not a super long combat, a brief fight. He chunked Sonus down, showed that he kind of meant business. His rolls were pretty good. His damage was pretty good. He kicked Werham down the stairs, knocked over like the first mate who was coming up to help the captain. Werham chopped off the first mate's head, made that executive. I was gonna make a pun about execution, but made that executive decision. And yeah, ran back up the stairs, shoulder checked the captain, threw him down the stairs. How very swashbuckler, yes. Just quite. He was he's definitely a scallywag. I don't know any other nicknames for pirates off the top of my head. I'm blanking. So yeah, threw the captain down the stairs. Captain looked over, saw his dead, decapitated first mate, stood up. I rolled a morale check. He rolled a 1. Rolled a 1 on his morale check, and he was like, his shore crew was gone. Like, all of his melee fighters were gone. His first mate was dead. His witch was thrown off the boat. He was not in a particularly good state to, like, fight player character leveled people. He was, like, at half health. The person he just knocked down was standing up again already when he looked up the stairs. So, Solus had helped Sonus back to his feet. And so he gave up. He's like, all right, I can't win. You win. That's fine. Boat's yours. Let's have a chat. So then there was a back and forth between Solus, the Emperor of Eden, and the rest of the party and this captain. And it was agreed that, like, if Solus was going to let the captain keep his boat and keep his crew alive, he would sail them up to the fleet. Like, he would lend Solus his services. So they started to do that the next day. They sailed north, and they got partway there, and then they saw that, like, the fleet was quite large. It was, like, 40-plus boats, I think is the number I gave. A lot of boats. A lot of boats. And they were like, okay, maybe we shouldn't sail into the middle of that. A lot of boats, yes. Maybe let's think of some alternatives. And started to think real hard about stuff that they knew. I asked Solus to give me Solus was okay, yeah. Werham was not gung-ho about it. Everyone else was like, no, I don't think so, yeah. There was some danger, some hesitation to sail into the middle of an enemy fleet with the Emperor. It's like, maybe this could result in some hostage situation that would get these pirates and get these invading nations, again, island nations to the west, belonging to the two cities that used to rival Eden's power before the gods kind of came and fucked them up a while ago, 60 years ago. It's like maybe providing them with a very valuable hostage is not the best thing to do. So they decided to think on it a little bit. Solus was like trying to remember back. Oh, there was like some middle conversation here where the captain was like, oh yeah, like supposedly Adam had this big weapon that was gonna just like smoke us all if we came and invaded. But Adam's dead, and either the weapon never existed and it was all a bluff, or Eden doesn't know where it is. Like, so far we're not toast, so that's great. And so Solus was like, okay, did we see anything about that in like the books? Did we hear anything? Do we know anything about this? And I, instead of like asking for a skill check or anything, I asked the Emperor to spend a hero point, which he had, and he had a little vision about like these books that were in the Emperor's study, like landing on the table, flipping through the books, and eventually like one of the books stopped on a page where he saw like on one page these like popping jellyfish-looking creatures with like the top bursting into flame. And the next page was like tentacles kind of coming out of the water, which might now be retconned to scales for reasons. But yeah, these, a location right around here. No, it was over here. Over here. I guess this wasn't in the journal. We skipped ahead a little bit. Okay. So he had this vision, and he was like, I think I know where the weapon is. I know where some weapons are. Maybe let's go get that, go activate that, and then we can use that as leverage instead of just like sailing in and hoping it goes well. Like negotiating without this extra leverage. I think the extra leverage would help. Leverage. That word is getting weird to say all of a sudden. It sounds like a good plan to figure out what's going on there and then come back and negotiate when we have this weapon that we can point at them. That'll help us negotiate and get them out of here. So they turned around. They got like most of the way to the fleet, wrapped back around, and returned to Fort Heffiel. And that's more or less where we ended. Was like we skipped ahead a little bit, and I was like, all right, so you look through the notebooks. What you do find that book. Find one that looked like that book. And what you find is an entry that says it's about 2 miles out from the edge of this peninsula. So like, just not even like a full hex away. From the end of this peninsula, that is where this is. So that's kind of where we left off. I have a pretty good idea of where the players are heading. I don't think I'm missing anything important there, if Moto doesn't have any corrections for that, or anything to add that I have missed. Although we'll hear, on Thursday we'll hear the player side recap. So that always tells me what I missed that the players found important. You didn't say anything weird, so fair. I don't think we discussed and will discuss next time if like this pirate captain is, if his service is done, if his service to the emperor is, if he's paid his time already, ferrying them a day, half a day out and then back, or if they're gonna negotiate longer terms. I think Werham hired him. I think you're probably right. Yeah. I don't think Werham has enough gold to... Well, maybe. It doesn't take that much, like, gold to pay wages for a crew. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to figure it out. I need to go look at some stuff. So, at any rate, know approximately where the... Actually know exactly where the players are going. So we're just going to, like, set up some of that location, set up some other stuff, and continue putting the things in front of the party. So that was last session, and we'll move into prep in a minute.